Now, today's topic is, for some reason, a debate, which, in my opinion, is not. There's nothing to debate about. But if you read the title, you already know what we're going to discuss. But before we even dive into the discussion, be sure to hit that subscribe button, the like button, share the video around, as well as comment if you feel the need to. And yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so next gen consoles is pretty much right around the corner, right? Couple months until release. Still don't know the price as of yet, which is insane, but hopefully we will either later this month or next month. I don't know. The point is, we need a damn price and we need a release date for these consoles. I mean, it's really close. That aside, there's always been a hot discussion about 30 versus 60 frames per second, and as well as resolution. Oh, is 4K really this or that? But I feel like this one in particular is the most ridiculous to me, because obviously 60 is better than 30. I mean, come on now. Is 2 plus 2 4? Is the sky blue? Huh? Is water wet? Is fire warm? These are all questions that you can literally answer within seconds. So why is this even a debatable topic at this point? Double the frames, double the fluidness, better the gameplay experience. It's that simple. Yet for some reason people think like it's some sort of debate, as if you can go back and forth on this. No, you cannot. Now, it can be opinionated where if you prefer 30 over 60 or vice versa, then yeah. But in terms of which is better, it's obviously 60 frames per second. Which would you rather have? Would you rather have $60 or $30? More is always better. That's just what it is. If you have more frames, obviously the gameplay experience is going to be more smoother. Now, I'm not going to explain to you what frames per second are, because you shouldn't have clicked this video if you didn't know what it was. But to all my PC guys out there, you already know why this is a thing, right? You already know why 60 frames, hell, even 120, 240 frames per second, which is literally 4 times the frame rate. Like, you already know this stuff already. To my console people out there who, for some odd apparent reason, don't like the experience that 60 frames per second gives them, which is ridiculous, by the way, it's way much better. In fact, I'd argue that all the third-party games that you're playing right now are literally 60 frames per second. Why? Because that should be the standard, especially for multiplayer games. It's competitive. If you're playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, all the little free-to-play games or whatever, like Warzone and stuff like that, chances are you are playing at 60 frames per second, especially if you're on console, because it's literally locked at 60 frames per second. So where is this 30 frames is better or it doesn't matter correlation comes from? This is the stupidest argument ever. As a matter of fact, that is a selling point for both consoles, next generation consoles, the PlayStation 5 as well as this Xbox Series X. They're pushing for what? 4K at 60 frames per second. In fact, not that long ago, PlayStation put up a tweet basically saying that Miles Morales Spider-Man is going to have a performance mode that allows the game to run at 4K 60 frames per second. Why is that? Because 60 is a much more enjoyable gameplay experience because of the fluidity of the gameplay. 30 frames is outdated. That's Xbox/PS3 era level stuff. The fact that people even have to explain this, double the frame rate, better gameplay. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And headed to this supposed next generation, I better not see any game running at 30 frames per second. In fact, I'm so glad I got my PC, because now I can play games that were once locked at 30 frames per second on console to 60 and above on my PC. And for the default consoles, that being the regular Xbox One and the regular PS4, most games are locked at 30 frames per second, especially games like Destiny, which doesn't make any sense to me, because Destiny is not really that graphically intensive. Like, if you look at the PC specs, it's really not hard to achieve. So the fact that it's locked at 30 frames per second on console, I'm not talking about the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. I don't know those resolutions on those games per se, but I do know that the base model of both systems, most games are locked at 30 frames per second. Hell, even Minecraft is locked at 30 frames. How? It's Minecraft. Come on now. The bottom line is 60 versus 30. shouldn't be a thing. 60 should be the standard for every single video game, especially headed towards the supposed next generation. And the fact that people are still supporting developers that choose to lock their games at 30 frames per second for whatever set resolution, that being 4K, 1440, whatever, it's really dumb, because why would you not want better performance out of your games? So essentially, you are sticking up for developers for ruining your gaming experience, which doesn't make any sense at all. That's the definition of a shield. You're just being a kiss up just for the sake of it. You're not even using logic. You're just like, oh, well, I like this company, so whatever they do, I'm just gonna, defend them, even though they're basically screwing up my gameplay experience. I don't know. Y'all weird sometimes. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Do you, for some odd apparent reason, prefer 30 over 60 frames per second? Do you, have impaired vision and you can't tell the difference between 30 versus 60? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this. Hopefully I do more of these, because I do like, just venting and talking about quote unquote controversial topics that shouldn't be controversial at all. It should be black and white, But let me comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.